Welcome to Louisiana Travel Show. I'm Lieutenant Governor Billy Nungesser. We'll be talking to people and we'll be visiting places that are so important to the tourism industry here in Louisiana. And with me to start today is Will Bloom, who heads up our sports tourism all over Louisiana. Good to be with you, Will.
Thank you so much for having me, sir.
So tell us a little bit about what you do to drive these sporting events all over Louisiana. You've done a great job, so many events over the last several years. And as we come out of COVID, we're excited about some of the things coming. But tell us what you've been able to do since you've been in that position.
Well, our office is in a great spot because you created a great position that allows me to go out to different trade shows nationally to draw those major accounts and sporting events within our Louisiana communities. Unfortunately, not all of our communities have the resources or maybe the personnel to go out to these trade shows. But I'm able to be a face for Louisiana, build those relationships, establish organic rapports with these accounts, and place these different sporting events within communities that may need so based on the infrastructure that they have within their communities.
I know the Little League World Series in Ruston. We had the Olympic trials for volleyball in Shreveport. And since you've been doing this, we've seen new hotels, attractions go up in some of these areas, because many of these events, like the Olympic trials, they don't just stay 1 or 2 nights. That's a week or two in that facility. Their families come to support them, and it's been a big boost for those communities around the state where we can host them. So tell me, going forward, what are some of the other things that you see coming to many of these tourism cities around Louisiana? We know the city of New Orleans has that big fund for major events, Super Bowl, Final Fours. But what you've been able to do with little financial support from the state, and we do put the money up where we need to, you've been able to plug these things in all over Louisiana. So tell us some of the things you're working on going forward.
So you're absolutely correct. Major events are great economic boosters for our communities, but believe it or not, sporting events comes in a form of various competitive level, from youth and amateur to collegiate and professional. Particularly the youth and amateur sports were major drivers for over the last 2 years to draw in consumers within our communities. We're working to establish rapport with many amateur organizations to put in different sporting events as infrastructure is being built within our smaller communities, mid-level communities, as well as draw in rapports with national governing bodies, particularly on the Olympic side, to have more of those trials as well as more of those Olympic-sized championships within our communities as well.
I know the Olympic trials, one thing that makes some of these areas like Lafayette, Lake Charles, Shreveport, Alexandria, Ruston, Monroe, attractive is they're family-friendly, safe communities, and the hotel rates are competitive within their budget. Where a big city like New Orleans, some of those groups cannot afford the hotel rates. So that's an attractive draw for those areas. And many of those areas, like Ruston, has invested heavily in those ball fields. So by us to be able to, as a team, work with all those communities, sending you out across the country, luring them here, you're able to put all those facilities in front of people and see which ones work for those events to bring them here to Louisiana.
You're absolutely correct. We have infrastructure coming about in small to mid-level communities. We have the family draw, but one thing that we advertise is outside the competition, what is there to do? And Louisiana is just a cultural melting pot, so to say. So families are able to come here and have that much needed vacations. Those athletes are here to have great team building and experience authentic culture, go to our attractions, our restaurants and natural preserves, great state parks, and experience those memorable, authentic experiences that make them want to come back.
Well, I know one of the ways we lured the water ski champion here a year ago was by offering great Louisiana seafood. I know you're working on some major boxing events. We've got a big golf event coming up in Lake Charles. And it also leads back into when they come here, they have a great time. They usually leave with a friend for life and they want to come up. Well, thank you for the hard work you do.
Thank you so much, sir.
Appreciate all you're doing. And it's really helping communities all over Louisiana.
Thank you
for being with me today.